What's going on, black and white sports fans? John Matrix and Road Trance are back in the house. Another Sunday morning live. That folks honestly forgot that we were going live today. I didn't realize it was Sunday, to tell you the truth. So, what's going on, Rhodes?
Nothing. Good morning to you, Mr. Matrix, and good morning, chat. I hope everybody is healthy and spry on a Sunday morning, ready to talk some mad S. I'm trying to clean it up, but mad S about LeBron James this morning.
You know you can't control it when it comes to LeBron, man.
Oh,
you can't do it.
Probably not.
No. When you talk about LeBron James or Joe Biden, you can forget about it.
Yep.
It's going out the window.
The S is going to hit the fan.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. It's been relatively kind of a slower news week for the most part. You know, outside of there's some stuff with Colin Kaepernick. Pretty slow. I mean, normally this would be a huge week because of the Super Bowl, but
there's no festivities.
There's no festivities going on. Media Day is going to be virtual, and I think most all that is going to happen next week anyway, right?
Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous. They're not even coming in for the game until about 48 hours out.
Yeah, the Chiefs are gonna stay in Kansas City, and it's just business as usual for the Bucks.
Yeah,
they're playing at home.
the Super Bowl is being treated for Kansas City as if it was a regular road game, and Tampa is playing it like it's a regular home game.
Yeah,
it's worked from a COVID standpoint so far. So, and look, it is shocking how well the NFL actually made it through the season.
Yeah.
But I will I don't like to give Roger Goodell any credit, but because there is one game I feel like he really messed up on, but I will give him credit for one thing. He said, come hell or high water, we are playing this damn season and we are playing these games.
Of course, they don't want to lose out on the money.
Yeah. But, good God, the NBA, MLB was moving games around, especially the MLB. The MLB, it got a little ugly for a while with teams like the Miami Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals, I remember. The Marlins got wiped out for what, like 14, 15 days?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. They couldn't get their asses out of the strip clubs down in Miami.
Exactly. And you know what? When it comes to this Super Bowl, man, if there was ever a time to actually really, really lock it down, it'll be this week. Because if anybody tests positive for the virus, they are out. Imagine Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes testing positive right now. They're going to be out. And the NFL is testing 2 times a day. This Super Bowl could be all time, and then it could be all time bad if both of those guys get the virus.
Well, riding down the road the other day, I sent you a message and I said, do you realize that theoretically, we could have a Super Bowl with Blaine Gabbert versus Chad Henning at quarterback?
Oh my God. That could be horrible. I don't even want to imagine that situation.
Some weird sort of way. That would be, and what's interesting about that is, or let's say Tom Brady plays and Chad Henning is playing for the Chiefs. No matter what, a Michigan Wolverines quarterback is going to win the Super Bowl.
I don't even care. I do not want to see Chad Henning playing the Super Bowl. I just don't want to see it.
God, I love Chad Henning in college. I thought, man, he's going to be a great one.
Yeah.
And I got that one wrong.
And I know that I didn't put this in the title. Of course, the title of the stream is on LeBron got called a racist, which we know about, and Matt Stafford got traded. Completely forgot about the Super Bowl because it just feels so different because it doesn't feel like Super Bowl. and half of the fans are going to be like medical personnel. But I think we need to address something with this whole Patrick Mahomes thing. The media is doing it again.
I
They
was
have
hoping
found
we
their
was talking
new.
about that.
I didn't realize. I didn't think about it until we went live here. The media is doing it again. They have found their Aaron Rodgers 2.0 now. So he's going to be the GOAT no matter what. Mahomes has played what? 3 seasons? Something like that. This is fourth season, I believe, right? Or third.
This is his fourth season. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are way overhyping him right now. And it's not his fault. Patrick Mahomes is great. But when you saying that if he wins this Super Bowl, he can get into the GOAT conversation of all time, that is absolute blasphemy, man. That is crazy. Does the woke sports media, do they realize that the Chiefs are going to have major cap problems? They're not keeping all these players. One thing about Tom Brady, man, he has been able to do it with multiple ever-changing talent. Patrick Mahomes is not going to have all these players. It's not going to happen.
Dude, I can't believe we're even having this conversation. But look, it started last year. It started last year after he won the Super Bowl. What is even close right now in terms of football? There's only one conversation you could theoretically have, and that's Joe Montana versus Tom Brady, because Joe went 4 for 4. That's
And
the only conversation you can have.
Then at that, man, he only went to 4. Brady's went to 10.
Yeah.
The record before Brady was John Elway. He won 2. This is insane.
The devaluing of the championship is what bothers me so much in the conversation. I just can't understand. Look, do I think Mahomes will potentially win, say, 3? Sure.
3, and that's probably a stretch just because there's so few players that even won 3. I mean, Drew Brees won 1. Aaron Rodgers won 1.
Between Brees and Rodgers, they have 2 together.
2 total.
Together.
People don't realize how quickly things can change and turn around. Look at the 1990s Cowboys. The Chiefs are not the 90s Cowboys. Those 90s Cowboys were way better than the Chiefs. They won 3, and then the wheels fell off. It fell off. That's the real NFL right here. What you saw from Brady and the Patriots, that's an anomaly. A complete anomaly, man. And before them, the San Francisco 49ers were really, really good for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And when they lost Montana, they were good like every year. They won 1.
That's right.
This is insane.
That's right.
I mean, if Mahomes wins 3,
he's still not in the conversation. He's still not in the conversation.
Not even close. Not even close. And then at that, no team has won 3 Super Bowls in a row. Ever.
Does it? Well, again, even if he wins 3 in a row, it does not matter.
No.
Mahomes has to get to 5 to get into the conversation. 5. Okay?
Yeah.
That's to get in the conversation. If he wants to be the best ever, he's going to have to win potentially 8.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, name the QBs that have won 5. I'll save you the time. It's one guy, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
How many have won 4? It is Terry Bradshaw, who nobody thinks is the GOAT. Joe Montana. That's it.
Right. Now,
And three Super Bowls. Troy Aikman, and of course we just said Montana and Bradshaw and Brady. That's it. These things are hard, man.
That's it. That's it.
These things are hard.
Well, look, we know what the deal is with Brady. We know what the deal is because
the media hates him.
They cannot keep their politics out of their journalism. They cannot do it.
Yeah.
They cannot do it. Ever since what? One singular red MAGA hat was laying in a locker, all of a sudden Tom Brady became trash. He became trash. They tried to pass the mantle to every quarterback that came along.
Every single one, man.
Aaron Rodgers. No.
Well, they didn't say that about Roethlisberger.
Some people tried to because Roethlisberger won 2. It's not a conversation. It's not. We're talking about it because the media has made it a conversation. It shouldn't get brought up. It shouldn't even get brought up.
Here's another thing, man. Both me and you have said that Eli Manning is not a Hall of Famer. We both agree on that. We've been very, very clear about that. But the media's excuse is, oh, he beat Tom Brady. Okay. If he had beat any other team, would anybody be talking about Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame?
No. And the only reason Eli gets brought up, because in the history of football, you can't tell the story or the history of football without telling the story of that Giants team that beat that undefeated Patriots team.
Yeah.
That's the only argument there. And as far as Eli goes, I hate to break it to people, but if people really and truly, Eli only had 9 or 10 really, really great games in his career. And they were all playoff games, basically.
Yep. And I'm going to bring up his stats from that 2007 season here, Eli Manning.
Yeah.
It's not pretty, folks. And there was talk about him getting benched. 2007, 56% completion.
Woo!
3,336 yards, 6.3 yards per carry, 23 touchdown passes, 20 interceptions. His passer rating for the season, 73.9.
Oh.
Does that sound Hall of Fame to you?
Oh. Do you know who has an actual better career, really and truly, like far as touchdown interception ratio, et cetera, et cetera?
Who was that?
Alex Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he has been a better game in and game out professional quarterback than Eli Manning was over the course of a career. That's just a fact. He just didn't have the playoff run, although he almost had it with Harbaugh, and might have had it had Harbaugh not benched him for Colin Kaepernick.
Right. Now, this guy bring up Aikman's stats while you at it. I think I know where he's going with this.
Probably the same place I'd go.
but the thing is, man, Troy Aikman played in a completely different era, man.
It's true. That's true.
Different era. I mean, if you want to bring up actually, Eli Manning's stats are similar to Troy Aikman, to tell you the truth. But Troy played in a different era, more physical, and it was more of a running league. And folks, Troy Aikman was light years more accurate than Eli Manning.
There was a time he was the most accurate quarterback in the history of football.
He had a season where he completed 69% of his passes. That is tremendously great today. But I know where he's going with this. Troy Aikman had a season where he had a 99. Yeah, but early in his career, man, early in just about every QB's career, they were all throwing picks. That first Cowboys team he was on was one of the worst teams ever. I think
didn't Peyton throw 28 picks one year or 26?
He had the record. 28 interceptions his first season. I think he went like 26 touchdowns, 28 interceptions. Actually, to tell you the truth, Peyton Manning's first 4 years wasn't that good. It really wasn't. He was putting up a lot of yards and everything, but he wasn't Peyton Manning as we know him. Those first 4 years.
You're not wrong. In his first 4 years, people would actually, in this day and time, be considering drafting another quarterback.
Yeah, about it. Actually,
You know,
I'm gonna pull up Peyton Manning's stats here. I'm liking that we actually talking about the games. All right, Peyton Manning. He was drafted in 1998. First season, no, I'm sorry. First season he completed just about 57% of his passes in 1998. That's actually good for that time. 3,739 yards, which is really good. 6.5 yards per carry, which is really good. Yep, 26 touchdowns, 28 interceptions, and a 71.2 QB rating. And the next season, 62% of his passes, 4,100 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. And really, 15 interceptions back in that day, that wasn't a whole lot. Not a whole lot. 90.7 QB rating. And then the next season, he goes, now, third season actually really good. 62.5% of his passes, 4,400 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 15 picks, 94.7 QB rating. Then the fourth season, he was in Indy. Still 62% of his passes, 26 touchdowns, 23 interceptions. That's not that good. 84 QB rating. And I think he really kind of turned into Peyton Manning as we know him 2003. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons in. This is where I consider Peyton Manning being Peyton Manning. He completed 67% of his passes, just under 4,300 yards, 29 touchdowns, 10 picks, 99 QB rating. Yeah. And then, he went for 49 in next year. That's when he really became Peyton Manning.
Well,
right there.
And also his first 4 years in the league, if we're being completely honest, he was in the tail end of the era where they still played defense. They still would not let a wide receiver run across the middle untouched, Guys were still getting their heads knocked off. Rod Woodson was still playing back in those days. At safety. Safeties were actually still knocking people's blocks off when they were trying to go across the middle and catch balls. I don't guess that changed really and truly to it was about 2004, 2005 that they started kind of cracking down on that. And you started seeing quarterback stats improve.
Stats exploded.
Except Eli's.
Eli remained pretty consistent throughout his career. We got one super chat here from Mick Walsh for €5. Roger Goodell basically telling the China virus to screw themselves. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you for that super chat, man. The virus isn't stopping the NFL. As much as the Corona Bros want to put a stop to it, it's not going to stop. One more game left, man. And then we got the Marxist NBA of China.
Mike Florio and Peter King did their damnedest to try to kill the league this year. They did. Yeah. 30 minutes of pro football talk every day had to be about the virus and the different scenarios that might happen that would stop the league from being able to play this week. Now, I am going to hammer Goodell for one thing. I think he got one game horribly wrong. And that was the Denver Bronco game that he refused to move when they lost all of their quarterbacks when they were playing the Saints. He said, well, I won't consider it an outbreak because it only happened to one portion of the team. And I'm like, come on, man. You're giving the other team an automatic victory that the Denver Broncos had to roll a wide receiver that they had drafted that was on their practice squad that had played one season of quarterback at Wake Forest. They rolled him out there as a starter, and it was ridiculous because at the time, Goodell was moving games to Tuesday. All 4 quarterbacks were going to be available on the next day, on Monday. He could have moved it to Monday Night Football, and he refused to do it. That was, in my opinion, that was a gross failure by Roger Goodell and a blatant competitive advantage to the Saints, not having any actual quarterbacks. So anyway, I hated that. I hated it. So
the Greg for $5. Eli Manning was Ryan Fitzpatrick with an elite D. Go Bruins, fire Chip Kelly. He's not wrong about that, about comparing Eli Manning to Ryan Fitzpatrick. I do think that Eli is better, but it ain't by much.
Do you?
Not
Are you
by much,
sure?
That's a good comparison though, don't you think?
Oh, it's I gotta pull up Ryan Fitzpatrick's stats because
think of this, man. Eli Manning, his career QB rating, 84.1. Now, somebody in chat had actually brought up Troy Aikman stats. Okay. This is Troy Aikman, who played in the 1990s, a completely different era right here, where you can actually still, rough up people. Troy Aikman, 81.6. Troy Aikman had QB ratings of 93.6 in 1995, 99 QB rating in 1993, and that actually led the league. His completion percentages were in his prime 65%, 64%, 69%, 64%, 64%, 64%. That's insane in the 1990s. That's insane. That's why a lot of people believe he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks ever. And his career completion percentage was 61.46, which is good. Joe Flacco, somebody brings that up too. Joe Flacco, Eli is like Flacco to me. That's a good comparison right there.
I tell you,
Eli was a little better though. I think Eli could actually be more of a playmaker to me.
On a smaller scale, because Fitzpatrick didn't get to start as many games initially. The numbers aren't that unsimilar, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up his stats too.
I've got his stats up right now. 60.7% completion, 35,000 yards, 223 touchdowns, 169 picks for Fitzpatrick. And
Fitzpatrick's completion percentage is better than Eli's.
Yeah. Now Eli threw for a lot more yards, but he got a lot more. He got more opportunities. Eli probably should have been benched. He probably should have been benched. Maybe
about 5 years.
3 to 5 years earlier. Yeah.
Because if you look at Eli's last season, he pretty much got benched that season. 6 touchdowns, 5 picks. Then he went the year before, not too bad, but not spectacular. 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 92.4 QB rating, which is actually, I believe, close to his career high on that. But before that, 19 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. No, this is one season where he was really bad. Where was it at? Here it is. 2013. 18 touchdowns, 27 interceptions. That's Jameis Winston like.
No,
but he couldn't even throw 20 touchdown passes.
No, Jameis's year was better than that significantly.
I know it was.
Jameis went for 5,000 yards and at least threw 33 touchdowns.
Eli threw for 3,800 yards. That's back in 2013.
Oh, crab legs outperformed him that year.
Yeah. So I guess I'll be fair. He probably should have been benched like 3 years before he retired, roughly. And everybody joining us, smash the thumbs up button if you do not mind. We had over 400 people watching. We only got 175 thumbs up. I know we can get to 300 thumbs up because I'm pretty sure most of you guys watching have not smashed the thumbs up button. And we've been going off on this for a while. I mean, anybody that's been watching me and Rose Sisters channel started, neither one of us are an Eli fan. We're not. But did I read? Oh, $5 super chat from Mark Schaefer. Refresh my memory, but both times Eli won the Super Bowl was because of a desperation throw that found his target. Now, in 2007, that was a desperation throw. He was under pressure. He just threw it up for grabs. But remember, before that play, Asante Samuel dropped the interception. Before that.
Yeah. That was
Now,
the David Tyree catch.
Yeah.
Against the helmet.
Yeah, that was the helmet catch.
And then in the other game, I think he's thinking about
the Mario Manning. That was a damn good throw right there.
It was a great throw.
It was a great throw.
The best throw of Eli's career.
Yeah.
It was a great throw. Yeah.
It was a great throw right there. And that was not just throwing it up for grabs right there. That was a damn good throw right there.
A damn good throw. Yeah.
Yeah. But the Giants almost could have blew it because remember they were right there like on a 1 or 2 yard line or something. And the running back, I think he didn't want to score, but I think he did fall in the end zone. I can't remember that. Remember they got down to close to the end zone. I can't remember running back's name. That's back in 2011.
Which one of those games was it that Tom Brady blatantly overthrew a wide open Julian Edelman close to the end zone towards the end of the game? Yeah, he threw the ball to.
It wasn't against the Giants then.
Huh? Yeah, it was. It was in one of those two Giants Super Bowl games. He threw the ball. He threw the ball at Edelman.
Julian Edelman wasn't on.
He missed.
You talking about Wes Welker? Not Julian Edelman.
One of the
Wes Welker in that Super Bowl.
One of the little short white boys.
Yeah. but here's the thing, man. It was slightly off, but it hit Wes Welker right in the hands, and he dropped it. That could have won the game because that was near the end of the game.
It was real close to the end zone, yeah.
And then after that, that's when Eli threw the Mario Manning pass. But Wes Welker hit him right in the hands, and Wes Welker never played for the Patriots again. Because I think he was in Belichick's doghouse for that.
Well,
the slow was just slightly off.
He was already punch drunk by that time. So Wes Welker, bless his heart, he's a boxer now. I mean, not literally a boxer, but he's punch drunk like a boxer. He's had so many concussions.
Yeah, true. Joe Bob Tarhill with a $1 super chat. Really appreciate that. Didn't say anything.
Thank you, Joe Bob.
Thank you.
One of my favorite names we've got going through the chat.
Yeah. Nice. So I guess we can kind of go taper into the topics that's actually on the live stream here. One LeBron James, man. You put up a video on that.
Woo!
I'm pretty sure you had a lot of fun making that video too.
I did, yeah. So LeBron showed up to play a game in Cleveland, Ohio. By the way, isn't LeBron from that area? Isn't he from Akron, very close to Cleveland?
Yeah.
And when he
went off in that game too.
Yeah, when he showed up, a fan had a number of select shirts. One that read, LeBron James is a racist. LeBron is a narcissist. By the way, I looked up the definition for narcissist. That dude hit it pretty close to the mark. And Gloria Goes West, which was my personal favorite, frankly.
That one right there, that may have been the most disrespectful one right there.
Ooh, do you remember that ESPN and the mainstream media refused to cover that story? They refused to cover it.
And Skip Bayless was saying that LeBron had to be sedated because that like really, really affected him.
Yeah. Well, some people gave him a pass in the playoffs for that whole situation. And in case anybody doesn't know in the chat, I'll try to say this as tastefully as possible. LeBron James's mother had a relationship with Delonte West, who was on the team at the time during the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't know what made Gloria James do something like that, but how did LeBron even find out?
I guess it literally came out in the locker room, boiled over or something. I don't know. Of course, Delonte West has not had the greatest life
Ooh,
post basketball.
that dude has some serious problems, man.
Yeah. Ed
Big
Brewer
time
said that's
problems.
worth a like. Oh, that's great. So yeah, it's funny that fan brought that particular shirt with him. And look, LeBron stated, people kind of forget that. I try to make sure I remind everybody, but LeBron stated that in a documentary that he didn't like white people very much. Okay, he just come right out and said it. Okay, now
Yep.
where I come from, that's some racist tendencies, if you ask me, personally speaking. Okay,
I agree, man. I agree.
I understand I'm white. I understand I'm a redneck. I understand my race is not supposed to count, but damn it to hell, it does, whether LeBron likes it or not. So it seems
Well,
to me,
not in World 2020, man, because I don't know if you watch ABL's video yesterday. This isn't sports related, but a couple of guys were actually nominated for a Grammy in a certain category,
I saw it.
and
I saw
they
the
backed
video.
out of it because there was number of white people in that category. That's how wokeness gets you, man.
And I mean, it's a race for the most woke. How long have I said that? 2 years now?
Yeah, yeah. I'm still waiting to see when a white person's gonna win best new song in the rap category. Has it happened? Maybe, but I'm pretty sure there aren't too many white people nominated for that category.
Oh, somebody just get up there and just flip the script on them.
Yep.
You can't do that, dude. Can't do it.
Yep. Mark Roberts with a $5 super chat. Good morning, guys. Do you believe if Tom Brady played in the Montana era that he would be the GOAT? What happened if Joe played in this era?
Ooh.
I mean, that's kind of hard to say because what team would Brady be on? I don't know. That's a tough question right there. But I believe if you reach the level of a Tom Brady or Joe Montana, you're probably going to be the GOAT no matter what era you play in.
You're going to translate.
You're going to translate.
Yeah.
Now, if the Patriots were going head to head with the 49ers, the 49ers would probably beat them. Those teams were stacked. Those Patriots teams weren't stacked like the 49ers or the Cowboys.
I can tell you right now,
Not even close.
Had they played that 94 Steve Young team, we would have rolled their ass.
That 1994 team was stacked.
It was the best Niners team I have seen in my lifetime. The talent on that team was, once we got Dion, it was officially the baddest team I can remember us putting out there,
Yeah. Yeah. Almost, there aren't too many teams that could actually take out those 49ers teams or those Cowboys teams. I mean, those Cowboys teams in the 90s was steamrolling the Buffalo Bills, who were stacked also.
The Bills were great. The Bills were great.
They were stacked. Hall of Famers everywhere, just like the Cowboys.
It's still,
and they got blown off the field, man.
It's unbelievable that they never won a Super Bowl. It really is. People forget.
Came close, man.
The Bills
Jim Kelly was all-time great, man.
The Bills had their own triplets. Yep. Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed. I mean, Jim Kelly. Wasn't Darryl Talley was on that team? Cornelius Bennett. That was a great Bills team.
Yeah, it really was. But to sum up your question, Tom Brady could play in any era. Joe Montana could play in any era. That's just a fact. Would they be the GOAT? I still think they could be the GOAT, no matter what.
I would love to see what you know what? I know we're talking Joe Montana, but if there was one quarterback I could see play in this era, I would love to see play, it would be Dan Marino. He would throw for
Wow.
120,000 yards.
You know what had happened? If Dan Marino was in this era,
Woo.
they would be talking about him as the GOAT because they're comparing Patrick Mahomes' first few years to Dan Marino. From a statistic standpoint, it's Dan Marino, and it's not even close because you would have to translate his numbers into today's game. Wow. I'm not saying he would have any Super Bowls, but he would be throwing for like 7,000 yards and like, 65 touchdown passes. That's the equivalent, really.
People don't understand.
He's the most talented QB ever.
Talented QB I've ever seen play. Yeah. Yes, I absolutely would love to see Warren Moon get a chance to play now.
Yeah, Warren Moon also.
I'd love to see Randall Cunningham play now.
Oh, yeah.
I really
Randall
would.
Cunningham, he can move, man. He can move.
Ooh, he was good.
We got a $10 super chat from my boy, Prophet Kyle, Gomer Kyle. I will say that Super Bowl, I'm assuming it's 32 with the Giants and Pats had the last great halftime show. It was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I don't remember that halftime show.
Yeah,
Best halftime show ever was Michael Jackson when the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. That was the best halftime show. Prince was really good too. That's my two favorites right there. What about you, Rhodes?
My top two would be I look, I'm a huge Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers fan. Huge. Like I've been a Tom Petty fan since probably I was 7 years old. So that was a big one for me. Prince was the best. Prince was the best for me. Yeah. It was great. And look, Prince is a highly underrated. He was a highly underrated guitarist.
He played like 20 different instruments.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, LA, with a $4.99 super chat. Has Brady officially passed Jordan as the greatest player in American team sports? We all know LaChina never will. Yeah, I put up a video on that actually. I came out and said it. I said, yeah. And it almost sounded blasphemous because I never thought, man. I mean, honestly, we already knew that Tom Brady was the GOAT. But what he did getting this team to the Super Bowl, because I think before the season, I think both of us said, I don't know about the Bucks, but they turned it around, man. I mean, he was the major difference.
I said before the season, I said he would not make it this year. He'd make it next year, is what I actually said.
Yeah.
And to hell with me and my, okay, I'm going to eat some goat here.
Okay.
I messed up that Tom Brady shouldn't go to the Niners thing. I messed it up. So there it is. I'm gonna eat crow on that. Okay. So yeah, there it is. I owned it. I screwed that one up. Yeah. Now that he's in the Super Bowl, I'm like, oh, what did we do?
So do you have him above Jordan?
I've got him tied. Right now.
I can go with that.
I've got him tied. He can break it if he wins it.
Yeah,
it's a done deal. It's a done deal.
Yeah. If he actually wins this will be probably his greatest achievement ever. Goes to a new team with a losing culture and defeats Brees, Rodgers, and Mahomes. I don't think you can get any better than that. And I can say if Tom Brady wins this Super Bowl, definitely there's no way Patrick Mahomes is catching him. No way. Actually, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is probably going to win 4 Super Bowls. I think the cap is 3. I think what the media is saying, man, they are putting unrealistic expectations on Patrick Mahomes. nobody else has done what Brady's done. Nobody has come close to get the 5 Super Bowls. It's like impossible. Brady and Elway, the only ones. Joe Montana, as great as he was, got the 4, which was a lot. And that was actually Roger Staubach. He got the 4. Terry Bradshaw got the
Yep.
4.
Yep.
And those teams were stacked. And they only got the 4. And 4 may not seem like a lot because of what Brady's done. But if you take Brady out the equation, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, 4 still seems pretty good to me because for so long I lived with 4 as being the gold standard in my head. So it's still the step up, you know.
And we forget Peyton Manning went to 4 also. He went to 4. LA says 4.99. I don't think it's fair to compare Brady or Jordan to athletes in individual sports such as Michael Phelps or Usain Bolt or Floyd Mayweather. Now, when it comes to Olympic athletes, I think that's even harder because you only see them every 4 years. What LeBron is doing and, Jordan and Brady, they're doing it every single year. Nobody pays attention to Michael Phelps except for every 4 years. And what he has done is incredible.
Yeah.
And I get where you're going. Like tennis, man. My favorite athlete of all time is Rafa Nadal in tennis. I know it's very, very hard to compare his 20 major tennis championships to Brady's 6 Super Bowls. But you can also look at who he beat. He beat Federer. He beat Djokovic. Those guys. Brady. He's beaten Peyton Manning. It's tough. And then with that, with the QBs, they're not going head to head. But in these individual sports, and they're definitely going head to head. I mean, you can even break it down even further here. When you play tennis, Nadal is going against Federer. They're actually hitting a tennis ball against each other. Whereas in swimming, Michael Phelps isn't really directly in contact with the other swimmers. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So even if you want to get more technical.
I think there's something to be said, though, in team sports. The idea that you've got to get everybody rowing in one direction in order to win a singular championship. Right. And then for Brady to have done that 6 different times, and just to get to the title game, he had to get his entire team going in one direction 10 seasons. 10 seasons to get to the Super Bowl. And look, we're missing one other thing with Brady.
What's that?
He's played in 14 championship
games.
I mean, that's ludicrous.
That's ludicrous. And this is his 21st season.
Yeah.
And technically he's only really played 19 seasons because he didn't play his first year and he was out in 2008. So 19 seasons. He's been in 14 championship games. 14. And he already has as many NFC championships as Rodgers and Brees. And they've been in the NFC their whole career.
Yeah.
Think of that. Mark Roberts for $5. Why is Bill Russell not in the conversation as the greatest of all time? He has 11 championship rings. This is what I always said about Bill Russell. Okay.
I know why I don't have him in there.
Bill Russell, also in his era, man, the NBA was in its infancy. He wasn't even playing against full-time athletes. Those guys are like used car mechanics in the off season. Also, when you look at Bill Russell, he played with like 7 Hall of Famers on one team, and he wasn't even the leading scorer on his own team. If you change up his numbers, actually equate his numbers to today's NBA, you know who Bill Russell is? Dikembe Mutombo. Because Bill Russell averaged 14 points per game for his career and like 22 boards. The amount of possessions that he had back in his day were way more possessions back in those days. So if you equate it to today's game, he's like a 9 point per game guy and like 12 rebounds. That's just the way it is.
Not only that, but wasn't most people they were playing against like 6'2",
Yeah, that wasn't any
6'1", you know?
yeah. And that's no fault to Bill Russell, but there was also like 10 teams in the league. It was essentially the WNBA back then.
Right.
That's really what
Right.
it was.
Right.
The grab for $5. If you rather go 4-4 in Super Bowls than go to 10 and possibly go 7-3 or 6-4, I got a head coach in Westwood that would like to talk to you about taking over your team. I would much rather go 7-3 in a Super Bowl than 4-4, because
Yeah.
chances are you probably lost in the first round. I think it's much better to lose in a championship than the first round, because think of this, man. Would you rather be, let's say that Jerry West never won a championship. I know he won one. Would you rather be Jerry West, and I believe he lost what, 9 NBA titles in the finals?
Yeah.
Would you rather be him or Tracy McGrady, who never got out the first round? And Tracy McGrady was tremendous. So is it better to have a 0-0 record in the NBA finals or 0-9? It's 0-9 and it's not even close.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And I love T-Mac, man. T-Mac.
Well,
really
just look at if Charles Barkley just had one ring, just one damn ring, you know,
they would probably say he was the greatest power forward of all time.
Or yeah, very well, probably yeah. Well, Tim.
I mean,
Duncan.
Tim Duncan.
Pre Tim Duncan, right? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, Barkley retired in 2000.
Yeah,
when he retired, they would probably say he was the greatest power forward of all time.
If Karl Malone would have got one or two, good God.
When Karl Malone retired, he was considered the greatest power forward of all time at that point. Now, when you look at it, though, Tim Duncan was a better defender, but there's no question, man, that Karl Malone was a better offensive force than Tim Duncan. He was. LA with another $5 super chat. Who is closer to LeBron? Who is closer, LeBron to Jordan or Rodgers to Brady? I don't think that Rodgers is even better than Manning, Montana, Elway, or Brees. I agree with that. Actually, LeBron is closer to Jordan than Rodgers is to Brady. I don't think anybody really debate that. I don't think so. Now, I don't think that LeBron is close to being Jordan, but Rodgers is light years away from being better than Brady all time.
Why does Rodgers even get brought up?
Drew Brees, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Drew Brees and Rodgers are, look, guys, they great statistical careers, but they're over here. They're not even in the conversation. Elway, Montana, you know, I mean, they're just not.
Here's the problem with Brees. Drew Brees will have 0 MVPs. Rodgers is about to have 3.
Okay. I mean, that's at least fair. Yeah.
Peyton Manning has 5. Even though I believe that Drew Brees got robbed in 2009. They gave it to Peyton Manning. I think Brees should have won that one. But they gave it to Peyton Manning. But I think that's the issue right there. He doesn't have any MVPs. See, the thing with Drew Brees is, I believe that Brees is somewhat of a stat pattern. For a while there in New Orleans, man, they would just let him throw. He would always have like the most attempts and everything. Drew Brees actually has the most attempts of all time because they would just throw. I mean, the thing is, man, I think this is also something that kind of separates Tom Brady from like a Drew Brees. Drew Brees outside of that dome in New Orleans, it's not the same guy. I'm not saying he's not great, but he's clearly not Drew Brees in the Superdome. Have you noticed that?
He was considerably different on the road than he was in the
Right.
Superdome. Considerably, yeah. And a lot of that's got to do with, look, even 10 years ago, Drew Brees' arm strength wasn't great. It wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, I watched him play at Purdue. His arm strength wasn't great in college, you know, because Purdue played Michigan every year, generally speaking. But yeah, I remember him in college, and his he's never had great arm strength. He was always a 35-yard kind of, let's not go any further than that too often.
Where do you have Drew Brees ranked? It's a little tricky.
I would have to sit down and actually write it out, but
I already have my top 5 set in stone.
He would not be in my top 5. I can tell
he's
you
not
that.
top 5.
Easily, he wouldn't be in my top 5.
He may be in the top 10. Like Rodgers may be in the top 10. I'll have to see where their careers kind of play out. Because I have Brady, Montana, John Elway, Roger Staubach, Peyton Manning. That's my top 5 right there for sure. For sure. Would you have Drew Brees over Brett Favre?
No,
I'll take
hell no.
I'll take Brett Favre.
No, what did you ask me that for real? Yeah. Of course, Brett was my second favorite quarterback ever, so that's probably I may be biased, but look, I would not have Drew over Dan Marino.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I just wouldn't.
I mean, out of the guys that won the Super Bowls, he would actually be at the lower end of those. That's why I'm saying he's probably number 12. I mean, it's tough, man. Like, also, I'm a bit Jim Kelly fan, too. Jim Kelly is going to be one of those guys that's going to be kind of hard to rank because he doesn't have a Super Bowl.
But he's got 4 straight.
Went to 4 straight.
Yeah.
Nobody's went to 4 straight.
Yeah.
The Patriots came close.
People don't. Jim Kelly was great.
Great, man. He was great, man. Tremendous. Great. Jim Kelly is probably going to go. I mean, if he just won one of those, Jim Kelly would probably be in the top 10. He would be remembered as a top 10 quarterback. That's how good he was. And but the problem with him is he didn't start in the NFL. He actually had to start off here in Houston with the Houston Wranglers and
USFL.
Yeah, USFL.
Yeah.
And his NFL career was 10 years.
Steve Young played in the USFL too.
Yeah. Now, would you have Drew Brees above Steve Young?
Not a prayer.
Not with you being a 49ers fan.
Not even in the conversation. Sorry, Drew Brees. Dude, I got to be honest with you. I'm not, as a total package goes, I'm not that impressed with Drew Brees. I'm not.
So you think he's more of a stat pattern?
I think he got floated into. People don't give Sean Payton enough credit for being elite offensive when it comes to play scheming. He's very, very good at getting the ball into his playmakers' hands. Okay, like in other words, good luck to Michael Thomas in New Orleans when they finally get fed up with your ass. You're not catching 150 balls ever again. You'll never catch over 80 again, maybe over 70 again. You just won't. That is a product of Sean Payton. That is a product of Sean Payton. It was a perfect marriage between Sean Payton and look, somebody could say, well, yeah, but Brady got with Belichick. Belichick's not an offensive coach.
No.
He's not an offensive coach, okay?
And it's pretty clear, man, who won that battle. It's Brady, and that's an easy answer now. Easy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the case is closed there.
Yeah. We got one more super chat here from Taker610 for $2. As a hot sky, Rams getting Stafford sucks. Yeah, we haven't even talked about that. We're going to actually get into that here in a minute. Thanks for that super chat too, by the way. Somebody says Brees is underrated. I'm gonna say I want to say he's rated. He's rated. I don't know how you can be underrated. I mean, but he has a ton of stats. Second, the most passing yards ever, which Brady's going to break next year. Second in TD passes. He's rated to me.
You think he's properly rated?
I think he's roughly properly rated.
Okay.
I don't think he's necessarily been underrated because nobody has really said that he was better than Brady. Nobody said he's better than Manning. Nobody said he's better than Aaron Rodgers in his own era. In his own era, and so Rodgers started in 2008, so I guess that's technically still the same era. He's the fourth best QB in his era.
Brees.
Yeah. Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, and Drew Brees in that order.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
that's probably where I got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I go Roethlisberger.
I guess Favre's error didn't cross over enough with Drew Brees.
Yeah. Favre was yeah, I'm not going to consider Favre really a part of it. Even though he played till 2010, I'm not going to put him in that era. But man, Brett Favre played 10 years in the Tom Brady era, though. But he was out of Green Bay. He left Green Bay in 2008.
And Favre had 3 MVPs, and he made
three straight MVPs.
Yeah.
At that. And this guy says, I can't see it in front of my camera here, but you guys never heard of Terry Bradshaw. I've heard of Terry Bradshaw. Yeah. He won an MVP, league MVP.
He got 4 rings.
4 rings. But I don't think he's better than Roger Staubach. When Roger Staubach actually retired, he had the highest passer rating of all time when he retired. Now, this is 1979. And let me show you Roger Staubach's stats from his last season in Dallas. This is insane. His last season, okay? And come on, load up. Okay. His career passer rating, 83.4. Guess what? That was the all-time record when he retired.
Yeah.
His final season in Dallas, completed 58% of his passes, which is extremely high. 3,586 yards, 7.8 yards per attempt.
That was a ton of yards back then, too.
27 touchdowns, 11 picks, and a 92.3 QB rating. And he retired. I like Terry Bradshaw. But
yeah, I don't hate on Bradshaw at all.
No, I don't hate on Bradshaw. I don't.
Yeah.
And we got a flood of super chats that just came in here. Let me catch up here. Mark Roberts for $5. Another question: would you guys rather be a Hall of Famer with no rings or a player with rings that will not get into the Hall of Fame? I'd much rather be Karl Malone than Robert Horry, and I love Robert Horry. He's the Houston Rockets guy. He still lives out here in Houston. I love Robert Horry, but I would much rather have a career like Karl Malone or Charles Barkley. That's not even close. Not close.
Yeah, it's not close for me either.
Now, a fringe player, would you rather be a Charles Barkley or a Manu Ginobili? I'd much rather be a Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
To me, I don't even think Manu Ginobili is a Hall of Famer. That's just me, but because it's considered the National Basketball Hall of Fame worldwide, but his NBA career was not Hall of Fame.
I know Spurs fans that would take you to war over that.
I know. They think he's better than Tim, but they think he's better than Tim Duncan, which is ludicrous, though. Those people are crazy.
I tell you what, on NBA Jams, when Manu got hot, though, woo! He was lighting it up. He could not be stopped on NBA Jams.
LA sends a $4.99 super chat. Believe this is his ranking right here. Number 1, Brady. Number 2, I guess it's Peyton Manning, because I know he ain't talking about Eli. Number 3, Montana. The rest are far behind. A lot of people have Elway pretty high, but he can't hold a candle to those 3. I got Elway number 3. That dude carried 3 horrible teams to the Super Bowl, and he won an MVP.
He went to 4-1 too, right?
No, went to 5.
Went to 5.
That was the record. That was the record before Brady. 5 Super Bowls, 2 wins, but 3 of those teams had no business being in the Super Bowl.
I've got Brady, Montana. God dang it. I probably got Elway number 3 too.
Yeah.
Manning. Who the hell would be number 5?
So I had Roger Staubach above Manning. I know his career was short, but man, he was Peyton Manning with rings when he played.
I'd have to think about that. Number 5.
Yeah. Gomer Kyle with a $5 super chat. I'll solve it. Take all those Super Bowl titles out. Marino beats all these guys. My opinion. Pure talent. You're just going by talent then. Talent wise, I've already said Dan Marino is the greatest talent ever at QB. But what you do when it matters most does count. That's what separates, a Brady from a Peyton Manning, for example.
Marino would make my top 10. I can tell you that right now.
Easily make top 10.
Yeah.
He would be the number 1 QB without a ring. Not even close. Not even close. And I would rank him above some guys with rings.
Somebody said Kaepernick, number 5.
Oh, stop it, please. And John Urich with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you for that. I think I'm caught up on those on super chats.
I'm calling it right now. The NFL is going to figure out some way. Those writers are going to figure out some way to get Kaepernick into some kind of a BS Hall of Fame award. You watch it. You watch it.
No, they better not.
If they got to create some kind of a Hall of Fame humanitarian bullshit to get him in, they're going to get him in somehow.
Yeah. Oh, somebody brings up Bart Starr. Now it's getting complicated here. Bart Starr, that era right there. I'm mainly talking about the Super Bowl era. If you want to go before that, man, then I think the one guy that could actually be in this conversation would be not Bart Starr, but man, name slipping my head now, man. I mean, this guy won a ton of championships. Man, why is the name slipping my head now? Oh, hold on one second.
Eli Manning, number 55. You know what? No kidding. Jeff George had a rocket arm.
Oh,
yeah. He was a complete trash player, but he had a rocket arm.
Otto Graham would definitely be in the Otto Graham is in the conversation for greatest football player of all time. If you want to go pre-Super Bowl era, Otto Graham is not even close.
He'd probably be the best pre-Super Bowl player of all time for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you got Johnny Unitas too. Can't forget about him. Y.A. Tittle, Bobby Lane. It's tough, man. It's tough trying to rank these guys. We got his $2 super chat here from Taker616. 160 million. Don't buy loyalty anymore. Deshaun Khan. Talking about Deshaun Watson. It's gonna be interesting to see where that guy actually goes. Thanks for the super chat.
That's a great question, and I got to make the video that coincides with that. A lot of people were on board with Deshaun making the SJW list. A lot of people were not. They were like, he did not do enough to warrant being called an SJW. But look,
he wants to run himself out of town because the Texans aren't woke enough.
Exactly.
That's worth consideration.
A franchise quarterback. And look, I know a lot of people want to devalue Deshaun. Deshaun's pretty damn good. All right.
He's really good.
He's pretty damn good. All right. Look, if he hadn't done what he had done and somebody said, would you take Deshaun Watson on the Niners? I'd be like, good God, get him on the team. What do we need to trade to get Deshaun Watson as the Niners quarterback? But when your opening line is, I want out of town because they did not interview Eric Bieniemy and they hired a white general manager, and I'm pissed about it. Yeah, you're getting social justice warrior consideration. Most definitely.
No doubt.
You are.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to wrap this up pretty soon because I have to go on Sports Wars, but
and I think I got to leave. So
yeah, real quick though, thoughts on Stafford getting traded.
Oh shit, we didn't even talk about that. Look, in a vacuum, I like Stafford going to the Rams. As a Niners fan, I hate it. In fact,
I think it's an upgrade.
In fact, I thought he was going to the Niners. I did. That's where I had him going. But did I think the Rams were going to give up 2 first-round picks and a third and Jared Goff to get him? I got to be honest with you. The price was too high. The price, I don't like him at that price, and that's why the Niners didn't get him. No way in hell John Lynch is making that deal. He's not giving up 2 first.
They gave up Goff and 2 first. That's a lot for a guy that I don't think overall is a difference maker. I mean, the Rams, did they get better? Yeah, but how much better? Not that much better. I don't think Stafford is that much of an upgrade over Goff.
Do you know what I thought was going to get it done?
What?
I thought it was going to be, we'll send you Jimmy G in a second, and that would have gotten it done.
We just realized Jimmy G is still in San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, oh look, he's still. I don't care what anybody says. Jimmy's still a competent quarterback.
Yeah.
But I like him a hell of a lot more than I like Jared Goff. Jared Goff is straight trash. I can't stand him. He's a sorry ass quarterback. He's heading straight to Blake Bortlesville right now. He'll be in the XFL here in about 3 years if he ain't careful. He may not. It may be 2 years. Maybe 2 years. I don't like Jared Goff at all. I don't. Yeah. I'm shocked that I can't believe. Look, the Lions. I don't care what anybody says. The Lions made out in this. They don't look like shit in this deal at all.
Yeah,
fine.
They took a little bit step back on a QB, but the team isn't good anyway, and they got some good picks coming.
2 first and a third, and you got a guy that can kind of play quarterback, sorta, occasionally. Yeah, I mean they'll draft a quarterback. Yeah. Great trade for the Lions. The Rams are better for 2 years, but boy, I don't like that price. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, guys, I think that's going to wrap up this show here today. Thank you everybody for coming out and supporting us here. Thanks for all those super chats. Everybody watching the show here. Sports Wars starts in like 50 minutes, so go over there. I will download the audio from this and put it on the podcast. So for anybody that's missing it, also, we're going to be taking down this live stream too, by the way. And it's actually going to be going up on Black and White Live. So go over there to Black and White Live and subscribe to the channel. And that's where this live stream will be put up if you actually want to see the whole video here. Okay. And we got one more super chat that just came through here. Rhodes, this is from the Greg. Rhodes, $5. Rhodes is my guy. As a Patriots, Mariners fan in SoCal all my life, Rhodes is a 49ers, Yankees guy in Texas. Yeah, that's pretty weird, don't you think? Thanks for that super chat, Greg.
My
Appreciate it.
my fandom is not tied to geography in any way. It's just not. And I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. You guys be safe. We're gonna have a good Sunday. Be safe, and we'll catch you next time.